Good morning. Happy Thursday, friends. Welcome back to day 4 of our plan, Get Back to You by Christy Wright. We are starting out in or reading from just one reading today from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. So if you don't have your Bibles open or your YouVersion Bible plan, turn to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and we are reading verses 1 through 8. If you are one of my listeners who likes to just listen and take it in, just close your eyes, open up your hearts and your minds, and just listen to what both God in His Word and the author Christy Wright has to say in this day 4 of our plan. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 8. A time for everything. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Oh, yes, indeed. There is a time for everything. Don't we know it? Oh, and if you've lived long enough like I have, you've experienced every single one of those things, because there is a time for it all. And our devotional for today, where you are. All of life is made up of seasons, and each of these seasons are markers for our lives. Oftentimes, it can be so easy to let the season you're in define not only how you feel, but also who you are. You might be growing a baby in your belly, or your house might be a disaster because you have 3 young kids at home, or you might be scraping pennies together to get by. But these are examples of where you are, not who you are. The Bible talks about how important seasons are in Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 to 8. Solomon writes, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to uproot, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search, and a time to give up, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to mend, a time to be silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace." I don't know what season you're in right now, friend, but you are not the season you're in. This season is where you are, not who you are. So when your phone sends your heart racing, or you want to run out the door because your kids are driving you crazy, or you want to quit because your boss is breathing down your neck, or you just feel overwhelmed and unfulfilled, remember, this is a season and it won't last forever. I believe God has something for you right where you are, and if you trust Him, He'll not only sustain you in this season, but He'll also prepare you for the next one. When you know who God is and who you are in Him, you can find strength and grace for your current season, regardless of how it looks. And our reflection for today: what season are you in right now? How does it feel to know that God sees you right where you are? Spend some time in prayer today, asking God to speak to you in this season. Ask Him to show you what you need to learn and to give you the patience to be present where He has you. Thank Him for the fact that in every moment and every season, He sees you. Wow. This has really been my faith journey, is really getting to the point in my life where when change comes, because change will always come, we are guaranteed of that. Nothing ever stays the same. We are always going through change. Sometimes it's good change, sometimes it's bad change, sometimes it's just uncomfortable change, sometimes it's loss, sometimes it's, it's just troubles and uncertainty. But my faith has strengthened through every single phase that I've been in my life, because when you look back, and that is one of the benefits of getting older, I guess, is when you look back, you always see how everything has served a purpose, and that every ending brings a new beginning. And when one door closes, another opens. And although we may not know what's coming next, God does. And so knowing Him, knowing His faithfulness, knowing how much He cares for us, and that He created us for a purpose, that helps us rest in the change and just allow Him to use that time to prepare us and develop us and strengthen us for whatever He has planned for us next. So I hope if you are in a season of change, or if you are in a season of pause and you're just waiting for what's coming next, because you are, like I say, just like me, I was in a season of unknown, and but He's been using this season to prepare me for where He's leading me next. And every day it just becomes more and more clear, and the journey has been incredible and continues to be incredible. So I'm embracing it, I'm enjoying it, and I'm thanking Him for it, so I can just be the best I can be for the next season He has for me. So take some time to just really let that sink in, and remember that everything does come to an end, and everything begins again. And just embrace that, and look forward to it, and know that He uses it all for our purpose, for His glory, and that's what we're all here for. So have an awesome Thursday, friends, and I will see you all in the morning as we wrap up this plan. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I love you all very much. See you in the morning. Bye.